Hello there, I'm Tabletop Toby. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing of an expansion to one of my favorite games, Return to Dark Tower. I really love theme. If you haven't gotten that clue from what I've done on the channel so far, or maybe you haven't watched before, then that's fine too, but start watching, like, and subscribe, otherwise the Covenant is going to get you, just a note. But I really love theme, and I think Return to Dark Tower has that in spades. I love the cooperative nature of it, that each of you kind of has a zone, but then because of the different advantages you need, maybe you have to switch and you take care of this. And there's a lot going on there. And I really enjoy that. I love cooperative games. There's a great solo mode, so it definitely hits a lot of the buttons that really make me love a game. So with that all said, Covenant is an expansion that adds some covenants, altars that you have to give different sacrifices to give you additional powers. I think if you don't, then they are maybe harmful to you. But we'll dive into all of that when we do the how to play and do a playthrough here shortly. Because I will definitely, as soon as I get this all open and show you all what's in here, I'm going to be diving into the rules. I read the rules, the version of the rules way back when they were doing the campaign for this, but I have not looked at it since then because I kind of love that experience of getting the rulebook, opening it up, and I don't know, that's the board game geek in me. That's enough preamble, I think. Let's see what's in here. Of course, I must take a pause and note that Paxton, our safety officer, is on hand in case I violate any safety rules in unboxing this. He will also perform first aid if I need any assistance. So hopefully we don't need that, but you never know. So, I feel like, I don't know, some people think unboxings are overdone and whatever, but I kind of love them. And for games that I don't have when they first come out, I watch them because I kind of want to see what's in there. Components matter to me, theme matters to me, and yeah, I just love getting a glimpse into what's going on. Okay. It's a pretty big box for an expansion, but I think it has some sweet minis. Love that new game smell. We'll take a look at the kind of initial unboxing here and what's in there, and then we'll take a closer look at these here in a little bit. We have the instruction manual, of course. We have 4 new classes, which is pretty exciting. We have the Undaunted Aegis, Reverent Astromancer, Devious Swindler, and we have the Relentless Warden. Take a look at their new abilities and what they throw into the mix. We have a Punchboard with 1 pre-punch. That's very nice of them, saves us so much work. As with the original game and the expansion, the cardboard quality and printing quality seems to be very high. These are going to punch super easy. We'll take a look at those components and what they're for. All right, well, I see the minis and it is pretty exciting. So we're going to get there. First, I'll look at some new corruption cards. It looks like maybe some other stuff in there. Some new treasures, and looks like some cards related to the covenants as well. The new black skulls that cannot be removed, I believe, is what I recall from the rules. I know they're not good, as you would expect with black skulls. We have some golden cubes. I think these maybe relate to the offerings you make, not sure. And then we have these beautiful, beautiful minis. They make me very happy. Looks like there's 8 different Covenant altar types, the 4 new characters. So we will take a closer look at these on the upside. All right, as promised, we are starting right away with these minis. They look really cool. Monuments, that is what these are called, not altars, not covenants, monuments. So this is the Moonstone Temple. See the moonstone in the top there. Some nice kind of terrain on the bottom, even some stairs going up into the monument. This is the cenotaph of the first prophet. Kind of very geometric design there. Kind of throwback to the skulls there, you can see. This is Tower Shard. I love the variety in these, is amazing. I had looked when they launched this and thought it looked really cool, but I kind of forgot how different the designs are. The Tower Shard, that looks like that might be the entrance. Kind of mimics of the Tower Shard all around. They even have like the ones along the sides that is not broken off. It's just like worn differently. And then you have one over here that's like not quite as tall as some of the others. Really cool. This is the Arch of the Golden Sun. Stairs going up. More great detail along the bottom there. This is Nightmare Cage. The chains all around. The Return of the Jedi. Don't see stairs in this one. Not sure how the worshippers are getting it, but maybe they never come out, so it doesn't matter. This is Argent Oak, kind of nature throwback. These almost look like lamps in the tree, which is kind of the earthy aspect to the top of the altar. See kind of the stairs going along the bottom there, swirling around into it. This is Colossus of Bjorn. Bjorn's looking very Atlas world on the shoulders kind of situation. See the chains holding in there, maybe it looks like. Kind of a cool pattern on the top there. Endless Necropolis. Really love the, almost looks like a tree, almost organic kind of horror. There's a face on each side, but there's like the window, so it kind of looks like a building and a creature all at once. There's a sense of an ominous darkness in the top there, like a hollow tree. Aspect of almost teeth on the bottom, if you see eyes there. I really like this one. And then on to the heroes. So first we have the Relentless Warden. Her hawk, it looks like. Crossbow. Decent detail on the face, given how small the miniature is. We have the Devious Swindler, looking a little piratey. So again, given the size, fairly impressive detail. This is the Undaunted Aegis. Ninja kind of vibe. Some daggers attached to the chains there. Kind of like the swooping movement of the sense of action. And ending with my favorite, both because of the name and the mini, the Reverent Astromancer. Really like this one. I kind of love the handout, evoking the heavens and the stars. Staff. Always a sucker for a kind of wizard looking staff. And it looks like he has several staves. Interesting to see what the actions are for this one. So those are the minis. Since we just looked at the heroes, let's take a look at their boards and just get a quick glimpse at what we might experience playing with them. First up, the Relentless Warden. The banner action is, if your quarry token is not on a foe, place it on a foe, otherwise move your quarry up to 2 spaces. That will be interesting to see how that works with the character and that kind of stuff. Look at the standard virtues for this one, plus wild advantage versus your quarry. So there we go. That's what the quarry does. That gives you an advantage based on where your quarry is located. Then we have guarded, prevent up to 3 warrior losses per battle card when you battle your quarry. Kind of a different mechanic there. I'm interested to dive into that one and see exactly how that functions. I love the way they play with the heroes and the different ways they play. It's kind of cool and gives you a lot of variety. And the additional virtues that you can unlock for the Relentless Warden: Keen Eye, plus 2 wild advantages versus your quarry, so another one reinforcing that. There's Inspiring. When you defeat your quarry, remove all skulls on or adjacent to your space. And Instinctive. You may remove your quarry token to ignore your quarry during its strike event. That relates to the quarry mechanic, which I don't fully understand yet because not a rules overview, just an unboxing. So this is that quarry token for the Relentless Warden that you can move around and you get bonuses depending on where your birdie friend is, which makes sense, which is kind of cool, kind of a companion mechanic. Next we have the Devious Swindler. Cool art again. I like this kind of orangey red color. It shows up more orange on camera, but looks orangey red in person. Banner, roll the haggle die and gain the result. This doesn't gain the result, so if you have a miss, I wonder what that means, or if it doesn't mean anything and they just get the benefits and not the negatives. Just the normal stuff there. And then virtues: when you battle, gain all advantages in the treasure market. That's pretty fascinating. That's going to change over time, so depending on what's there, it could help you in different battles at different times. The misses. So there's my answer. Joyful means that this is always going to be beneficial. So that's pretty neat. You're just getting some kind of random bonus at the beginning of each one. And then you get a random advantage based on the market. So that explains the swindler kind of gambly, piratey vibe. I like that. I love when mechanics kind of support the theme and the characters. It's nice. Additional virtues that the Devious Swindler can unlock are opportunistic. When any player gains a treasure from the treasure market, you gain a blessing. So blessings are a new mechanic. So that's additional advantages that the Devious Swindler gets. So the Devious Swindler feeds a lot of stuff from the market, which is kind of a different mechanic. I like that, a little randomized. We have Fortuitous. After you roll the haggle die, you may re-roll once and take either result. Ooh, either result. That's pretty cool, because often when you have to re-roll, you have to take the second one. So that's pretty neat and plays into the banner action for this character as well. And calculating, you may ignore soldier and spirit losses on critical hit battle cards. Oh, that's really cool. Those can be devastating when they hit at the wrong times. All right, we have the Undaunted Aegis. See her in action there with her spiky chain craziness. Banner, for each corruption you have, gain 3 warriors. You may spend 10 warriors to remove one of your corruptions. That's interesting. It kind of promotes you getting corruptions to generate warriors. That's fascinating. I guess that's why the color is black. It's kind of like using the corruptions as a source of resources. Interesting. Aesthetic. Gain 1 spirit for each battle card you spend no advantages on. It's usually one is spend advantages to help you. Iron-willed, you can have an additional corruption. Start the game with 1 random corruption, so that kind of ties into the banner activity. Very good at doing these kind of interlinked characters that promote you to play in a certain way, in a different way than other characters. And that is what gives the variety. The unlockable virtues for the Undaunted Aegis. Embolden +1 wild advantage for each corruption you have. So once again, promoting the corruption piece. I guess what's interesting is you can kind of choose some corruptions are worse than others depending on what's going on. So you can kind of cull the ones you don't want and maybe try to find another one, I guess. Steeled. Once per turn, if another hero will gain a corruption, you may gain it instead and gain 2 spirit. Now that's pretty cool. So you can kind of take those corruptions away. So it might promote always keeping a extra slot open. That's very fascinating. And resolute, when you reinforce, spend 1 less spirit for each corruption you have. And the one I'm most excited to check out, the Reverent Astromancer. All the staves and the wizardy, magic-y star powers. Loving that. In the banner, remove a skull on or adjacent to your space. So it's kind of using the power of the stars to whisk away those skulls. Well versed, if you remove a skull with your banner action, gain a blessing. So the blessings are a new thing that allow you to get a wild advantage, but you lose them at the end of your turn. So you gotta use them right away. Pretty cool. Pious, at the start of each month, prepare spells equal to the month number. And so this is, I believe in particular to this character, they have spells that they can cast, which is a totally new mechanic and specific to this character. So I'm really excited about that. As I mentioned, I love spell-zingy people, so this will be probably the first one I check out. And then the Reverent Astromancer, extra virtues that can be unlocked. Exalted, you can prepare invocations. Invocations are unlocked and basically act as extra spells when Reverent Astromancer unlocks that virtue. They're kind of added in with the other spells. Bounties. Once per turn, when you cast a spell, gain the top card of the treasure deck. And that is pretty neat. And then Zealous. Whenever you cast a spell, gain a blessing, which blessings are those temporary advantages that you can use on your turn, or you have to use on your turn when you have them, or they go away. Okay, and then these are the new Doom skulls, the black skulls. Kind of like the other skull friends in the game, but black. Because they're doomy. They'll do doomy things. So these cannot be removed by any effect, and there's these new events where they are added to the board. They don't replace any skulls. Like the prior expansion, they actually are an addition to them, and they can't be removed by any effect, but otherwise count as regular skulls. So that's their new thing, is they just can't be removed. So then if there's one on a particular building, then you have to make sure to monitor other skulls on there to prevent destruction of those buildings and corruptions and such. Then we have these gold cubes, which are offerings. These are offering tokens, which I believe you can either use the cubes or these. That's my understanding, at least from my quick glimpse there. These relate to the monuments and meeting the requirements to build them. Since we're in Punchboard land, as I expected, these punch out all super clean, very high quality. So this is also a new mechanic of the game. It's Wastelands. When these friends are called by the app, by the tower more, by the tower, of course it's not the app putting them in place. What are you thinking? So it stops your movement if you get into space with one of them. It stops. And also that space loses its terrain type. And as you know, if you've played Return to Dark Tower, terrain type matters for a lot of the characters and bonuses and such. So, man, this will be challenging. Now, if you do build a monument in a particular kingdom, then these will no longer appear there, but it doesn't say that they're removed, at least from what I could see. So these could be bad things that may promote you building those monuments. There are protection tokens. So there's a new mechanic also, wands. I think there are items you can use, and they use wand charges that you have to be able to use the effect on those. So we'll see those when we look at the cards, I guess. These are the foundation bases for the monuments. They're kind of double-sided, so I think you put these on and replace existing buildings with them. There's probably a process to do that. All right, and we just have the cards left. Here are the monument cards. They tell us what offerings are required, and then once they're built, what benefits we get. So for the Tower Shard, it shows you what kind of building they replace, and then offering defeat a foe in a space adjacent to the tower. So it looks like you have to have 3. So it's kind of interesting. It's a little bit situational. You got to get yourself positioned to make that happen. And then the Tower Shard allows you to gain 1 potion for free, or spend 1 spirit, gain 2 potions. Nightmare Cage. In your turn with 4+ skills on or adjacent to your space. Wow. So definitely have to allow some suffering to happen to get this one. Reinforce. Free, gain 1 gear. Or you can spend 20 warriors to remove a foe, which can be really handy with some of the higher level foes to not even have to worry about trying to fight them. Just take them away. So if you have someone that is kind of a warrior generator machine, then throw them in that direction. Endless Necropolis, offering spend or lose a treasure. This building can hold any number of skulls. You cannot cleanse this building. So that's interesting. Oh, because this is the creepy tree, hollow tree. So you get to dump skulls in here. Can't cleanse it, but it can hold any number. That's really neat. So if you build that in that zone, you can just be like, don't care about the skulls there. Neat, neat, neat. Reinforce free, gain 6 warriors. And then for 1 spirit, remove any number of skulls from this building and return them to the supply. Oh yeah, because if you run out of skulls, you lose. So you may want to go there and clear it out if you've dumped a bunch in there, because they're not getting put back in the supply. That's a fascinating mini game that creates. Moonstone Temple, offering complete a battle without using any advantages. So definitely take you to task to get this. And reinforce free, gain 1 spirit, and then you can spend 10 spirit. You may battle and cleanse any number of times this turn. If you do this at the beginning of your turn, position in the right place and have the resources. Colossus of Bjorn, offering lose 8+ warriors from a battle card. So suffering. As Bjorn looks like he's suffering, I guess we must suffer too to become his friend. Hey Bjorn. So reinforce, gain 6 warriors. Free, place yourself in this building in any space without a building. So you can move it around, teleport yourself with it. So I guess Bjorn's walking around and you're like, hey, take me on your plate, carry me around. That's also very different. We have the Cenotaph of the First Prophet, offering defeat a foe in a wasteland. Reinforce free, gain 1 potion. Spend 4 potions, gain an active virtue tile from outside the game. Oh, that's kind of mixing things up. Pick what you want based on what's going on. That's pretty neat. Can change up your strategy a little bit. Argent Oak, offering gain a corruption. This could tie well with the Undaunted Aegis. I think she would be a fan of Argent Oak and getting that completed pretty quickly. Gain 1 spirit for free. Spend any number of items to remove an equal number of your corruptions. So kind of a way to, you have to get corruptions to unlock the Argent Oak. Then you can use items now to cleanse yourself of the corruptions. So it's a different way to cleanse corruptions. Arch of the Golden Sun, offering in your turn with 2+ foes on or adjacent to your space. Kind of a positioning aspect with that one. And then you build it free, gain 1 gear when you reinforce there. Spend 5 virtue, gain 1 virtue, and the top 2 cards of the treasure deck. So that's a lot that can really change the tide. If you haven't been able to unlock virtues because you're kind of doing damage control, which happens sometimes in this game. You're like, if I could just unlock this virtue, everything would change. And Arch of the Golden Sun can offer you that opportunity. It's your shining ray of hope in the distance. So we have the blessing cards that were referenced by some of the other items. And so these are that extra wild advantage that you lose if you don't use them in your turn. Spells, which are of the Reverent Necromancer use. So let's see what these look like. Aura of Friendship, when you reinforce that ability this turn, you can treat it as any building. Bestow Blessing, 1 hero gains a blessing. Bounty the God to look at 3 random quest items, gain 1. At the end of your turn, return it to the quest item deck. So kind of a 1-use bonus from quest items. Ritual of Warding, place a protection token on your space. Soothing Word, 1 hero in your space replaces a corruption with a new one. Winds of Change, put any number of treasures from the market on the bottom of the treasure deck, then refill the market. Especially help if you're hunting for particular items like Ghoul's treasures. Here are the invocation cards. So invocation, abate the darkness, remove a seal from the tower, return any skulls that emerge to the supply, replace the seal. There's only 4 of these. Celestial Jaunt, place your hero on any space with a quest marker. Commanding Rebuke, place a foe that is on your space on any other space. And Smite the Wicked, remove a savage or lethal foe. So some really neat stuff, some really neat card art as well. We have a bunch of new corruptions, so I don't know that we're going to go through all of these. But Aquaphobic, you lose 1 spirit when you cross a river. Arrogant, you cannot take a quest action. Crestfallen, you cannot take a banner action. Disreputable, you may play 1 spirit to take a free reinforce action. So just lots of negative things that apparently the Undaunted Aegis wants to get. Oh, snobby. Cannot hold gear. When you gain this corruption, lose all your gear. Wow. Some really fun and mean ones going on there. Bunch of new treasures as well, which is always fun. Again, I'm not going to look at every one of these, but Sanctified Flask, spend to remove 1 corruption from any hero. That hero gains a blessing, +1 undead advantage. Only acquired 1 wand charge. Spend 1 wand charge to remove all skulls on or adjacent to your space. Just zoom through these. Haunted Recluse's Effigy. When you cleanse, you may spend this to remove all skulls in your current kingdom. Wow, this one kind of stopped me in my tracks. Both because of the art initially and then reading what it actually did. Holy cow. Here's another crazy one. Beacon Stone. At the end of your turn, if you're on a space with the building, you may place your hero on any space in your home kingdom. It's like teleportation. So they've thrown some really wacky fun at us. That's really fun. Well, that was my unboxing, and wowsy wow, am I excited to dive into this. You know, we'll see how it goes. Sometimes things seem super exciting, and then when you dive in, the mechanics don't quite play out, but there's a lot of cool detrimental things with the corruptions. There's a lot of cool wacky treasures, the spells with the Reverent Astromancer, which I'm most excited to try out, although the Undaunted Aegis promoting taking on corruptions, which could play with some of the particular monuments. So there's a lot to dive into. So I will figure out how this all works, and we'll get playthrough going and how to play. And so look forward to that. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. It's very much appreciated. And as I mentioned earlier, otherwise the dark corruption of the monuments will consume your soul. So it is spooky season, and that's what's going to happen. But thank you anyway, even if you don't. I appreciate you being here and taking your time to watch this. And just remember, the only rule is that there are no rules, except in board games.